Hello, this is a short slideshow showing how we designed and constructed my stables at Ludgfen in November 1999. The overall layout and design was created by myself and my friend Ali Richards based on experience over the years of various stables that we had used and based on basic common sense principles set out by a long-time acquaintance of mine, Mrs. Anne Brock from Houston, in her excellent book, Riding and Stable Safety. I also remembered what my granddad had told me when I was a small boy about the dark and dingy stables that he had to put up with years ago with his carriage business in Penzance. We wanted a wide open central concourse so that there was plenty of space for people to walk safely past other horses standing in the concourse being groomed or tacked up and so on. We wanted the loose box floors to be flat and level, as this is best for the horse's legs and feet. This design requires proper use of traditional straw bedding and avoids the problems from ammonia fumes, etc. associated with gully drains, and in modern times from the use of rubber mats where the moisture and urine tends to collect under the mats. Based on experience and as suggested by Anne Brock, we decided not to have drainage gullies. Instead, the central floor has a slight fall, sides to middle, and from front to back. This enables the loose boxes to be properly swept out and the concourse kept swept clean and tidy. This floor arrangement is important and enables the whole stables to be kept safe for the horse's feet and clean and hygienic. The downside was that it complicated the construction of the floor slab as shown in later slides. The tops of the stable doors were metal capped to deter crib biting. All stable doors had an upper bolt and a low-down kick bolt. This keeps the stables secure and prevents horses from opening the bolts themselves. Every stable had a water drinker plumbed in to avoid the need to fill and empty water buckets. Hay racks were fitted to every stable. This avoids the need for stuffing hay nets and so on, and keeps the hay clean and away from the floor. Our experience from other stables was that horses can push over block work walls, so we have 1-inch thick kicking boards. These go right down to the floor and drop down below floor level on the outside edge to avoid floor drafts and the ingress of water from the outside in driving rain. This involved a complex edge structure on the floor slab, see later slides, but we felt the extra cost was worth it for the well-being of the horses. Here is a copy of the original sketch for the edge detail of the concrete slab. And here is the drawing showing how the outside kicking boards are recessed and sealed against the slab. We wanted draft-free ventilation, and this is provided by hit and miss cladding tops between the top of the cladding and the roofing sheets, and central roof louvers in the peak of the roof. This arrangement also avoids condensation, often associated with fibre cement roofing. We specified opening window shutters to add further ventilation in the daytime and to enable stabled horses to enjoy the view. We arranged 2 fire exits, one through the main door and an emergency exit through one of the stables. We included a flushing toilet with hot and cold water and a kitchenette. We installed a feed preparation sink, an emergency telephone, a full electric supply and lighting. Today, some of the smaller pony loose boxes are used as client storerooms where they can keep all their bits and pieces. The following slides show the building sequence commenced in November 1999. The groundwork was done by Patrick Sandow from Rose and Grouse. The floor slab work was designed and built by Messrs T.J. Brent, and the detailed design and supply of the structure was by Mr Ted Harper, structural engineer of Partridge Buildings from Broadcliffe in Devon. The structure was erected by John Clements and myself, and I did all the fitting out, including plumbing and electric installation and lighting. Patrick Sandow starts the levelling process using a clever laser system attached to the bulldozer. Here we are preparing the access track ready for the cement lorries from the quarry to access the site. We needed to connect the building to the water main so that we had adequate water for the horses and for domestic purposes, and also a high pressure supply for the fire hoses. Now the team from T.J. Brent are on site, led by Foreman Arthur, and this is the first layer of concrete. It's called the blinding, and it's a rough layer that prevents the main courses infiltrating into the ground. Here is the first run of shuttering before the concrete is poured, including the framework of reinforcing bars to strengthen the slab. Here they are pouring the second rung of concrete. Here you can see the preparation work for the central slab of the concourse. This was a complex arrangement because, as described previously, it slopes from side to middle and from front to back, and also needs reinforcing with rebar. This is the final pour of concrete. In the foreground you can see the domestic end, and the team stayed up most of the night after that was poured, grading and polishing it to ensure that it had a smooth finish for the office and toilets and so on. Here is the finished slab. The 4 separate sections are clearly visible with a 30 cm deep French drain on all 4 sides. Here is the formwork and reinforcing for the base for the generator house, with the duct for the electricity cable coming up through the middle. Here's the generator in place, all ready for the blockwork to go up. The generator, I collected the generator from London. It came from Wellington Barracks. It was an exciting day when the big lorry arrived with most of the timber for the stables. Now we can start to see the layout of the loose boxes. The next job was to organise the drainage arrangements. In conjunction with BT, we decided to put the telephone line underground so that it didn't intrude into the landscape. While everything and everyone was on site, we decided to go ahead with the building of the barn and the tractor shed. And then the big day, the horses moved in. The planning people required us to have an off-road car park and a new access entrance on Blowing House Hill. the siting of the sound school was a compromise. We needed flat ground, but it was fairly low lying, and we had to pay special attention to the drainage arrangements. Here are the stables in action, now operating as livery stables. My stables are very popular with customers, including the grazing facilities, and I only charge £17.50 per week per horse. For more details, please go to my Ludgman Stables website, www.ludgmanstables.co.uk, or for up-to-date information on the Facebook page Ludgman Stables. Thank you for watching.